Okay, everybody, we are going to use the FOIL method. To review, quadratic equation looks like this in standard form. ax squared plus bx plus c. That is the standard form of a quadratic equation. Sometimes I am given the factored form. So this is what I see right here. It's still a quadratic equation because I'm still going to have an x squared here. And if I graphed it, I would get the graph for a quadratic function. But here I have the factored form, and I need to get the standard form. So I'm going to use the FOIL method. And I already have my f here that I've done in purple. So what this really means is x plus 3 times x plus 2. And since I don't know what x is necessarily, or there can be lots of different input values for that, of course, for a function, then I need to leave it as a variable and just make sure I know how to apply what we call the FOIL method to change factored form into standard form. So in purple, I have the F, and F stands for firsts. So here I've underlined the first term here and the first term in this set of parentheses. So what I do first, let me get my purple, is I multiply my firsts times each other. And x times x is, of course, x squared. Okay. I'm going to select a different color. Let's go with blue, and let's do O in blue. And O here stands for outer terms. So if I look at this whole expression, what we mean by outer is the outer term here and the outer term here. So I'm going to multiply that. So I have positive x times positive 2, and I'm going to get a product of positive 2x. So again, I did my first terms, then my outer terms. So this is like a higher level distributive property when we use the FOIL method. So let's choose green. And now I'm going to do the I. Can you see the green? Maybe you see the green. I means inner, as you probably guessed. So this is an inner term, and this is an inner term. So now multiply them. Positive 3 times positive x, I get positive 3x. Okay. And finally, let's get a fourth color. Let's be wild and go with red for L. And L, again, as you probably already have guessed, if you didn't know, last term times last term. Those are considered the last terms in each set of parentheses. So positive 3 times positive 2 gives me positive 6. Okay, I'm almost done now. This looks pretty much like standard form, but I'm going to combine these two like terms and get a final simplified version here of x squared plus 5x when I combine those like terms. And then, of course, I have plus 6. Okay. So what I started with was a factored form right here, showing two factors. And applying the FOIL method, it's just a way to remember to multiply each part by each other part to get the right answer and not mess up or get confused. I have to be careful with my signs. And what I get in the end here is this form right here. And this is considered my standard form. So again, factored form, standard form. And I can go back and forth between those two depending on my purpose, which we'll talk about in another video. But here, when I have this, then that should look like the form, standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. And that's what I have here, my ax squared plus bx plus c. So that is how you use the FOIL method to take a quadratic expression from this form, which is factored form, to this form, which is standard form.